Hello, everyone. My name is Ricardo Farinha. I'm the Chief Technology Officer at Sweco. I've been with Sweco for about 10 years now, and I've been in this industry, in this AEC industry for about 15 years, and always in this technology side. So doing technology development and leading the teams that are doing technology development. Today, I'm going to be talking about how we can try to bring superpowers to the construction industry. I'm always very keen to discuss these topics. So if you see something interesting in this presentation, or you are doing something similar to what I'm going to present today, or you have similar ideas, please feel free to connect with me in LinkedIn, and let's discuss it over there. All right, before we jump into the presentation, I need to explain a little bit about Sweco so that you have an understanding of where I come from when I'm talking during the presentation. So at Sweco, we operate in the AEC industry, so in the architectural and engineering and construction. So Sweco basically operates in the planning phase mostly. So Sweco plans and designs the sustainable communities and cities of the future. We employ about 20,000 architects, engineers, and other specialists, and we do about 100,000 assignments per year. So we are a consulting company in this field where we help our clients to plan and design things. So, and this basically is, so we are basically part of this big ecosystem, which is the construction industry, which is an industry where where we spend about $10 trillion annually, globally, and where we employ about 7% of the world's working population. However, this is also the second least digitized industries in the world. And if we think about the sustainability part of the industry, this is where 40% of the world's energy is spent, and between 25 to 40% of the world's carbon emissions is being spent. So it's basically one of the industries that is contributing for the killing of our planet, which is our only planet we can live in. So it's something that we should definitely do something about. I also believe that we have good news here. I believe that we have two enablers that can allow us to bring superpowers to the industry. And these superpowers can allow us to solve some of these problems, some of the big problems that have been debated in conferences like this for the last 10, 20, 30 years. So the first enabler is an external enabler, and it's technology. So technology is our enabler, our external enabler. Technology is growing exponentially. So meaning that technology is coming quicker and quicker. There's more and more technologies competing. We have more and more technologies to choose from and to then use in our day-to-day lives. And this is basically the thing that we could use as a superpower. We could use technology to basically try to solve some of those big problems we discussed before. I'll give you an example of something where we use technology to kind of revolutionize the way that, for example, design is done in our industry. So this is the Rønselva Bridge designed in Norway by us. So it's a partnership between Sweco and other companies. And why is this so interesting, this project? So this project was the longest bridge being designed and built without any drawings. So this bridge is 600 meters long, and in the highest part of the bridge, it's 13 meters high. So this bridge has about 200,000 reinforcing bars in the model. And all of this bridge was designed without any drawings, 2D drawings, which is a general way of designing. You design a building information model, but you deliver output as a 2D drawing to the client. In this case, the bridge was designed without 2D drawings. So we needed to revolutionize the way that these designs were done. The bridge is nowadays built, so the construction was finished in July 2022, so last summer. And it's now open to public. So it was a success. So the biggest technology change, or the way that was changed in here, was that we started using way more parametric design than we were using before. So in the piling of the bridge, 95% of these piles are parametric, meaning that if there's a change in the road geometry, for example, all these piles 95% of the piles and all the reinforcement inside them will change automatically, because there's a parametric design script that are automatically there making these changes. In the concrete side, 75% of the concrete parts of the bridge are parameterized, in the reinforcement side about 70%, in the tendon side 98%, and in the details of the bridge about 75%. So as you can see, most of the bridge is parameterized. Another technology that was leveraged here to be able to deliver this kind of project without drawings is visualization techniques. So how do we show in the site the different details, the different reinforcing bars, so that the people that are actually building this bridge, physically building the bridge, know how to do this without any drawings. So different techniques needed to be applied and studied and tested, and things have been going. Of course, it's a learning process, and we have been improving all the time. So this was not our first drawingless project. I think it was the second or the third. And nowadays, a lot of our bridges in this kind of infrastructure projects are done without drawings in many countries, not just in Norway, also in Finland, in Sweden, and other countries. So I would like to give you a second example, and this is something that most likely will be talked a lot during this conference, ChatGPT. It's something that is in everyone's mouths and in everyone's minds. The potential that this kind of tool that's built on top of GPT-3 technology is coming to bring to our industry. So if you think about it, this exemplifies the speed at which technology comes and how fast we can disrupt industries. So ChatGPT, it took 5 days to get to 1 million users. And if we scale this out, it took 2 months to reach 100 million users. So this is the record from any app to reach 1 million users and to reach 100 million users. So, and this is exemplifies in the future, these kind of things will come faster and faster, and we'll need to adapt faster and faster. And this is a key here. So how do we speed up technology adoption in our businesses? Since technology is coming exponentially, meaning that the technology cycles are becoming shorter and shorter, meaning that technologies come and die much quicker than they did before. So technology that comes nowadays will die much faster than the technology that came 10 years ago or 2 decades ago. Technologies in the past just stayed longer and longer with us. And because now technology is growing exponentially, these technology cycles are becoming shorter and shorter, meaning that we as businesses, we as people, will need to adapt much faster to these new technologies that are coming all the time. And this is one of the key topics that I want to discuss closer to the end of the presentation. So I don't focus too much on it now. So for now, we will just pass to the next enabler. It's an internal enabler, and it's the people. It's the time that they can dedicate to collaborate, to learn, to experiment, and to innovate. So this is, if we try to summarize this into one word, this is the culture of your company, the culture of your organization. And this is the enabler here. So the people are the superheroes that will use technology to achieve great things and change those big problems we talked in the beginning. And the culture is the second enabler, that if you don't have a good culture that supports this collaboration, learning, experimenting, innovation, and so on, you are not going to be able to use the full potential of technology in your organization. So if you are, for example, a company like Sweco, and if your people's goal is only to deliver building information models or DWGs or drawings, and you don't give space to your people to innovate, share knowledge, try new things, etc., guess what? They will not do it. There will not be a culture of trying new things, and you'll be stuck in the old ways of working for the rest of your life as a company. So you'll need to find a balance between your normal work and your innovation, your thinking outside of the box, your experimenting new things to try to change the way that you do your normal work. So, and this, of course, in many companies like Sweco, like in the AEC industry, this is something that we need to change. So it's not common yet to have this kind of culture embedded in companies in the AEC field, AEC and in the construction field. And this often, if you think about this cultural change, this always starts from the top. But if you think about it, this truly happens from the bottom up. Let me, for example, try to give you some examples how this culture could be developed. So one good way, or one way that we have been doing at Sweco, is to identify some champions, these people that I call champions. So they are people that are very good at some disciplines. They are good with other people. So they are good at building communities around them and share knowledge. So this is the kind of champion. So in this case, there's a couple of them over there. There's 7 people shown here. And they are champions in different areas, in building information modeling, in parametric design, in digital services, in data analytics, in technology, in FEM software. So different types of champions. And what we did, for example, one example is that we send these people to hackathons, internal hackathons. This is a picture from the Sweco Developer Days that is organized in Finland every year. And in last year, in the September 2022, there was 8 countries represented here from Sweco. There was 75 participants, and in this hackathon there was 46 hacks created. And from these hacks, many of them, I would say at least 25% of them, 25 to 30% of them are now used in production. So we need to give space for these innovators, for these people that think outside of the box, to have space to think on how can they disrupt their day-to-day lives. And in this case, in this event, the concept is that we have a 3-day hackathon. We go to the Finnish forest, to a big cottage with a nice lake, sauna, and hot tubs. And it's like a community building type of event where we also, there's 2 ways, 2 parts of the event is the community building and the hacking, of course. So, and of course, putting these people all together, because most of these people, if they are not coming to events like this, they might not even talk in an organization as big as Sweco. So this is what you mean. I mean, you need to identify the champions and then start building these communities. And it's not just a one event per year. These people need to be kept talking to each other so that the knowledge is being shared between the different parts of the organization. And that's what this is all about, to create a network so that they can keep talking to each other during the year, and they can keep innovating and sharing knowledge throughout all the corners of Sweco. So other example is, for example, in our Netherlands business area, where there was I think it was the week after that all this hype about ChatGPT, and after it was released, they have gathered 40 participants for all parts of the Sweco Netherlands organization from different business units with different competencies. So they grouped these people together, they split them into 12 teams, and then the tasks of these teams were to try to figure out what could ChatGPT be used to kind of disrupt the way that we do business. And they come up with excellent ideas, and some of those ideas are now being tested now that Microsoft has taken an interest in ChatGPT and has invested in it, and this technology starts to appear in Microsoft technology, which Sweco is a Microsoft company. We have a lot of Microsoft technology, and we are using a lot of Azure. And now when ChatGPT is being available in all these Microsoft tools and in OpenAI, Azure OpenAI, we start playing around and bringing some of these ideas that were done a month and a half ago. We try to bring them to life already. So develop your own culture by giving people, in this case 40 people, time out of their busy lives to think a little bit outside the box, to see if you can use a new technology to solve some existing problems that they have every day. Another example is that don't only send your people to internal hackathons. This is a picture from one of the winning teams from the Best Mashup project, where there is 2 Sweco people from Sweco Denmark. So the first one on the left and the third one from the second from the right. They are Sweco people. So, and this was a team of 7 people, and basically they didn't know each other. They were from different companies, and they go to the event 2.5 days in a weekend in Denmark in Bloxhub, and they just meet there together and they solve a project. They create a solution that solves a problem. In this case, they've created a solution that was for a renovation, so they had a problem, and then this tool that they created was giving options about the different renovation types that could be done for that type of solution. So as you can see here in the picture, there was 3 options for this type of renovation, and then it would give you the differences between the costs, the CO2 impact, and the time it took to do the renovations. So then the user could then choose what would be the most sustainable option for them. I'm not going to talk much more about the AEC Hackathon. There's going to be a session in this conference about the AEC Hackathon, so you will have time to learn a little bit more about this event. And also, I think there's a couple of teams that were presenting there that will also show or present their ideas in this conference. But basically, in this event, there was 53 organizations represented, so huge amount of organizations, 160 participants from 33 countries. So it was an amazing event and a very international event. And of course, these are not the only things we do at Sweco to kind of have some kind of innovation culture. So this is just an example of things that we do that you could also do to find these champions, to find these superheroes, these people that can control the superpowers, the technology, and they have already the culture in them to create these communities, and how you can groom them to become even better so that they can themselves then spread that knowledge to the other people and infect them with this superhero attitude that can then help your company go forward. So this takes us to the point that when we have a good culture, when we have a culture of innovation, a culture that you are not only building information models and delivering drawings, you actually have time to innovate. You have a culture in your company that allows you to test technology, to test new things, to see if there's new technology that comes to the market that can revolutionize the way that you do your work. And this is the time where we need to find a balance between our normal work and our innovation work so that we can achieve some kind of sustainable result. As you can see from this picture, what this picture tries to exemplify is that here on the left side, we have so much technology. And this number of lines, this number of technologies, this number of tools, this number of processes, this is just going to explode more and more in the future. Like I showed in the beginning, technology is growing exponentially. So how can we somehow help our people? Since they already have the good culture, how can we help them? How can we make their lives easier? That's what we need to find a way to do it. We need to facilitate the way for our people to have access to knowledge, to have access to technology, so that they can get their superpowers much quicker than if they need to find the superpowers from this huge amount of knowledge that is out there in the world. And this takes us to the question that we asked in the beginning. How can we speed up the technology adoption in our businesses? And the rest of the presentation, I'll give you an example of how we have done that at Sweco in one use case. So there is much more things that we are doing on this topic, but I'll give you a concrete example so that you can see exactly one concrete example for this. So this example will be related to structural engineering and to a software called Tekla Structures, which in Finland is, and actually in Sweco it's a massive software. So it's used by quite many people, structural engineers. And in our company, this data is from 2022, so the entire year of 2022, we have had about 1,900 users using the software. These users have used this kind of, let's say, they are called Tekla plugins. So they are basically parametric tools that allow the civil engineers or the structural engineers to make connections automatically inside the design software. So in this case, you see an example of a steel column and a steel beam. And then there is this tool is a parametric tool that the structural engineer puts a couple of parameters in the user interface, and then the tool has coded inside it the rules how these plates and these welds and these holes in the steel need to be done so that the connection basically is coming automatically to the model. So our 1,900 people, they have used 8,500 unique tools during 2022. That's the amount of unique tools that they have used in the last year. These tools have been inserted in the Tekla models 30 million times, and they have been working or inserted into 7,000 building information models. So 7,000 Tekla models have had 30 million of these tools inserted during 2022. So this is the amount of data we are collecting. So we are collecting this data from the users' machines to these massive cloud servers that we are hosting in Azure, and basically that information is then stored on the cloud. So what we do then with this, or what's the idea from now on, is to try how can we speed up the technology adoption for this type of tools, the usage of these tools. So if I'm a new person that just joined Sweco, how do I know what tools to use for what purpose? Do I need to go and study the 8,500 tools that are used inside Sweco? Or can we somehow find a more clever way for me to have information about what could be used for certain purposes inside when I'm doing design of something? If I'm doing a steel frame building, then what kind of tools do I have available for me? Or if I'm doing a timber school or a timber apartment building, what kind of timber tools do I have available to me without needing to learn these 8,000 tools that are available or that are used by the other Sweco people? So what we have done basically with this data was to create some kind of grouping of our people. So we have created some machine learning algorithms that basically could group these 1,900 people together based on the data that we have been collecting for like 3 years now. And these algorithms are deployed on the cloud, and they are not static. So it's a dynamic grouping, meaning that if I'm now doing precast detailing, but tomorrow I'm going to do, for example, some steel boiler building design, then I'm going to be grouped in a different group than I was in the past because my type of work has changed. So these data, these machines or these machine learning algorithms are constantly looking at what's happening and then making decisions and grouping people in different clusters. So if we look at, for example, this black cluster that you see on the top right, this could be people that are doing this kind of a precast detailing for these block buildings. If you look at, for example, this green cluster on the bottom right side, this could be, for example, the people that are doing timber school buildings, design of timber school buildings, and so on and so on and so on. And of course, like said before, you as an individual, you could jump between clusters depending on the type of work you are doing. So these clusters are created with information about what tools you are using, what projects you are doing, and inside the project, what type of design you are doing. Are you doing in the precast block building? Are you doing the walls? Are you doing the reinforcement? Are you doing the basic design? Are you doing the slabs? Are you putting the statuses in the model? What kind of work you are doing? And then you are grouped together with people that are doing similar work that you are doing. That's the basic idea. So what we do with this information. So we have built this simple system that allows you to basically come here. In this case, and this is in your local machine, in your local computer. So this is, in this case, is a picture from Microsoft Teams. So this is inside Teams. You come to this project page in Microsoft Teams, and you have a report or a Power BI report that shows you that in this case there's 4 people similar to me. There's 2 of them are from Finland, 1 of them is from Sweden, and the other one is from Norway. And these are the tools, the Tekla plugins, the Tekla detailing tools that these 4 people have used, that I have never used in my type of work. And these are the type of people that are doing similar work to me. So they are users that are doing very similar work that I'm doing, and these are the tools that might be relevant to me because these people are so similar to me, and these are the tools that I've never used. So instead of needing to know or needing to learn 8,500 tools, which is the total tools that Sweco people have used last year, I have now filtered these into 41 tools that are relevant to my kind of work. And this is what this picture exemplifies. If we look again at this picture, so we start with 8,500 unique tools. We could have the best culture in the world. It's still a huge work for your people to have to learn 8,500 tools. Isn't it much better if we try to filter this information with clever ways, with, for example, machine learning, so that your people need to have a look at only 41 of these 8,500 tools? Because these are the tools that people similar to them have seen that they have never seen in their lives. And this is what I mean. This is the type of thing that we need to do more and more in the future because technology is coming exponentially. There's more and more tools going to come in the future. It might double in 2 years. It might be 10 times bigger in 3 years. So we need to have this kind of clever systems that can help our people. The culture is not enough. It's the culture plus technology together. They need to be intertwined so that we can then create these systems that help our people. and make that balance between the normal work and the innovation work. With tools like this, that balance can be reasonable. Otherwise, they will need to spend most of their time to just start learning new things all the time, and they didn't have time to do the normal work. So this is nothing new. There's a lot of these AI and machine learning algorithms that are out there that can be used and applied to your own industries. In our case, in the AEC industry, these algorithms we have used here are similar algorithms that Netflix and Spotify are using in their recommendation systems. You will never use Netflix if you need to browse through 100,000 movies to find the right one. So the power of Netflix is that it can actually recommend you somewhat smart movies to watch. And this is exactly the same case. But with this, they have time to do the normal work because there's a machine that basically filters the data, filters the information that is relevant to them. And if I show you the last slide and try to show you the impact of something like this. So I'll give you a real case. So this is, and before I give you the real case, I need to explain to you what optimal usage is. So optimal usage is so that if there's more than 80% of the people that should be using a tool that are already using that tool. So let's think that we release a tool that looks like this. If 80% of the people that should use it are using it, we say that we reach optimal usage. So let's see two tools. So this is the first tool. As you can see, it's not many users. There's 28 users in the optimal usage, but it took 35 months to reach the optimal usage. However, in the second tool, where we actually apply some data-driven technologies like the one shown above, for example, we can decrease that that time a lot. So this is a similar tool than this tool number one, this tool A. This is a similar tool for the similar user group, and it took 6 months to reach optimal usage. So this is a difference of 2.5 years. This is huge. It's a huge difference. It's 2.5 years difference. This makes a real difference in your business. If you manage to decrease the optimal usage, reaching the optimal usage of a tool in this much, this is a game changer for you. It means that your people, your organization can adapt and can speed up the technology adoption so much that it will open so many doors for you. And this is what I wanted to show you and basically tell you that we can really bring superpowers to the industry. If we take advantage of technology and if we develop our culture, we can really change the world. We can really tackle those big problems that we talked in the beginning, and we can really change the way we do design in our AEC field. Thank you.